Hi there, welcome back to Renal Diet HQ. I'm Mathia Ford, your host today. Today we are going to make Greek turkey meatballs. So we're making them with turkey meat and tzatziki sauce. So let's get started. I'm going to tell you about the ingredients for this recipe. We have 93% lean turkey. If you buy turkey that's like 97% lean, it can be very dry. So I just recommend you find like 93% turkey to make sure that it's not so lean that these are very dry. We have some panko breadcrumbs, we have garlic, we have an egg to hold everything together, a little bit of olive oil to help with that moisture, some feta cheese that I diced up very fine. And it is important to dice that up because that also adds to the moisture in these meatballs. Plus it makes sure that the feta is throughout the meatballs. I have really finely diced red onion. So again, to help with the moisture, we've diced these up as small as possible. And then the spices we're going to put in the meatballs, this is just the meatball, dill, black pepper, cumin, and oregano. All right, and then we're gonna make tzatziki sauce to go with it. So we have Greek yogurt, we have garlic, dill, and pepper. I have a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of lemon juice, and then some very finely diced cucumbers. So we're going to take this, make the tzatziki sauce first, and then we'll whip up the meatballs. And while those are cooking, this is gonna kind of blend together, make it taste really good. And then we're gonna put it all together at the end. Okay, first we're gonna make the tzatziki sauce. So I've already finely diced the cucumbers. And what you have to do, because they have a lot of water, is you have to kind of squeeze it out of them. So you just do this several times with paper towels. And I just kind of squeeze them. You're just trying to get excess fluid out of them. Otherwise, the tzatziki is very watery. So you just want to do your best to get as much water out of them as possible. Look how wet that paper towel is. We're going to do it a couple more times. It's really just pressing down and getting the liquid out. Okay, that's pretty darn good. So we're good there. So we're going to just add all these ingredients to the bowl and mix it together. Tzatziki is a traditional Greek dish. All right, so now we have our cucumber in the bowl, and we're just going to add the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to add the Greek yogurt, a little bit of lemon juice for a little bit of zing to the flavor, some olive oil, and our spices. And then we're just going to mix this all together and then refrigerate it so it has time to kind of come together and meld all those flavors. So there you go. And I'm just going to put this in the fridge, cover it up, put it in the fridge until the meatballs are done. All right, first we're going to turn the oven on to 400 degrees. And while that's preheating, we're going to mix up the meatballs. Okay, our first step is to take a baking sheet and line it with parchment paper. That's just so your sheet doesn't get terrible to clean. So I like to spray a little Pam on the bottom. That makes it stick a little better. So it just kind of stays down. And then we're just going to put our meatballs on top of that in a minute when we're done. The next step is just to put everything together. So we're going to put our turkey, our spices, garlic, delicious, panko breadcrumbs, our feta cheese that we diced up very fine, our onions that we diced up really fine, our olive oil to add some moisture keep them from being too dry. And then an egg. And I just initially mix this with a spatula. I don't like getting my hands in there and getting it yucky, but if I have to, I will. But as you can see, the little pieces of feta and the onion are just kind of mixing throughout. And that's what we want because they add a lot of flavor to the meat and moisture. As that feta cheese melts in the oven, it gives you a little bit of moisture. So this is a serving for two. Each person's going to get about 4 meatballs, and they're not the hugest meatballs, but they're delicious with the tzatziki. All right, let's make little meatballs and put them in the oven. So I just try to kind of divide it up in half and then in half again and in half again until I get to the number that I want. Number of meatballs. Sometimes I weigh it. Not going to do that today, but it's actually a very good way to make sure your portions are good. So if I weigh it, I just weigh the total amount and then I divide it by however many I have. And just gonna grab this and make a little bit of a meatball. You can see it sticks together really nice. They don't have to be perfectly round. Try to make them even. But I do love that they stick together pretty well, so you don't have to really get your hands in there and kind of mush them around too much. That egg helps them to stick together. Okay, now let's put these Greek meatballs into the oven. We're gonna cook them for about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, now it's time to get the meatballs out of the oven. As you can see, some of the feta cheese has melted and they're looking delicious. And just like that, perfect Greek turkey meatballs with a little tzatziki sauce. So let's give it a try. 1 serving is 4 meatballs. This is 2 servings, but I'm only going to taste 1. Get myself a little bit of this tzatziki sauce. I actually love tzatziki sauce. I think it's really good. All right, there is that deliciously cooked meatball with the nice variants to the, everything's mixed in there really well. And then I've put some on a fork with some tzatziki sauce. So let's give it a try. Okay, my Greek meatballs and tzatziki sauce. Let's give it a try. That crunch from the cucumber is delicious. These meatballs are very flavorful. They're not that dry. With the combination of the feta cheese and the red onion, oh, they're very flavorful. You would love this. This would make a complete meal, like a snack in the middle of the day or something. And then the tzatziki is so good. Enjoy.